All right, everybody, what's going on? Welcome back with episode 14 of the Conchs Podcast with my homie, Captain Chad over here.
What's going on?
And I am, once again, Captain Travis. We are back at it, talking a little bit about the fishing reports, what we've been catching, and all that fun stuff, past events, and kind of all that good stuff. So, Chad, if you want to get right into it, I know you've been fishing a little bit recently, what you've been catching and what's been going on with you.
My parameters were kind of a little bit different for the month of February. Jack kind of hooked me up with a private guy, so a little bit of change of the pace from the charter fishing. So, I had the luxury of fishing a guy for almost 30 days straight. So, really cool, different parameters. So it was kind of cool to go out every day and kind of see how the weather depicted on what was going on with the fishing and everything else. So, we had days where we did really good, days where we did kind of whatever, and then days that were kind of terrible. But, overall for the whole entire month, we did really, really good, between fishing my boat, and then we had trips on Jack's boat also as well, and with the parameters of the fish that he saved, he ended up filling up 2 55-gallon trash cans from Seal the Deal, taking it home with him. So, he went home with, a lot of fish, and then weather provided, just trying to make the best. Some days were good, other days weren't. February is a really weird month here, weather-wise. Got to kind of treat your days good on the weather days that you get it, and then the other days, it's a little bit difficult and tough.
Yeah.
So, yeah, kind of what I've been stuck with for the last month or so, and just getting back into the regular grind of running regular charters. I had my first one the other day for 35 days, so it was a nice change of pace. So
heck yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, it's nice whenever you get a repeat clientele. I've had some of them recently. I had one that was about 3 days. It wasn't as many as 30, but it's nice to kind of get in a rhythm with talking to the people, getting to know them a little bit better, and you can fish one day, like Chad was saying, you can go in the ocean one day, you can go in the reef or wrecks, and then the next day maybe hit some wrecks in the bay or flats. You can kind of mix it up, so it's always nice to have people 2-3 days in a row or a month in a row, just so that, especially if you're trying to check off different lists of the fish that they're trying to catch, that's always nice too. So what was some of the highlights as far as y'all were kind of targeting, and what was y'all's techniques on some of that stuff?
At the beginning of the month of February, the weather was a little spotty. What we kind of did for the first week, kind of just targeted, yellowtails and muttons on the patcheries, because, the weather was a little rough, a little bouncy, and he had his mother-in-law in town plus his father. They were in their mid-70s, with the parameters of what was going on. You got to be real careful about how you go about it. So, for the first week, we fished a lot of patcheries. We had one good day where, we caught a lot of nice muttons in 40 feet of water, Hawks Channel, and then fished a couple of the other patcheries. We did good on the yellowtails, did really good on the mangroves, one day. So, kind of just bounced around and, made the parameters of the best. And it's kind of funny because, weatherman says it's going to be blowing a certain amount and the conditions are going to be the way they're going to be, and you get out there and it's completely opposite of what it was. So, first week, just kind of targeted snapper and stuff like that. And the next week, tried to hit the deep wrecks and everything. They were a little hit or miss, and then we had a couple trips on Jack's boat, which kind of broke it up, which was, really good. Did 4 trips on Jack's boat. We had, first trip was phenomenal, second trip was hit or miss, third trip was great, fourth trip, but that's fishing.
Yeah, that's fishing, man. That's cool. So you got to fish some different boats, that's always nice, different kind of areas. And I know you did some sail fishing too. That's always a fun time. This time of year, it seems like, you were getting into them there pretty good with it.
Yeah, he's kind of fished with us a few years prior beforehand. So, it's kind of trying to figure out what he hasn't caught versus what he has caught, and he's done cobia, muttons, caught wahoo and kingfish, and we happened to have a day, right before he left, to where the weather was right. I mean, it was really rough. So, you know, the day prior beforehand, we did a dry Tortugas trip on a Monday, and then, you know, the next day with how the conditions were, he was like, hey, let's just go have an easy day in the Gulf. So, you know, we went out and anchored up on a wreck there, you know, caught some mangroves and some lanes, but it was cool because we ended up catching a bunch of nice blue runners that were out there, you know, and he had mentioned something about sailfish, and we were gonna fish the next day, and I said, you know, hey man, it's gonna be blowing 20, 25, you know, the conditions are right, it's gonna be rough, but if you're cool with it, if we can make it out there and make it happen, they should bite. And that's exactly what we did. You know, we went out on that Thursday, you know, the boat was down in Big Pine for the whole month, so ended up fishing off the light up here. It took us about an hour and 15 minutes to actually, you know, get out there.
Yeah.
You know, it was 4 to 6, probably blowing 20, 25 out of the east. You know, and we were gonna anchor, but anchoring wasn't gonna happen just because of how rough it was. So, you know, and we actually happened to have some really nice big blue runners, and I was like, if we can get them out on the kite and we can drift, bites should be there, and it worked out good. You know, we ended up getting 2 that day.
Heck yeah.
So
that's pretty sweet, man. That's fun with that kite fishing. I know it's cool. It's exciting when those fish come up, whether it's a sail or king or whatever it is, comes up and hits those kite baits. That's pretty sweet. And I know you used to do that too in West Palm, and you know, you came down here a couple years back, and I know you know Cam and all that. So yeah, if you want to kind of chat a little bit how you know got into fishing and
kind of born and raised into it, coming from my dad, you know, and then just growing up in Palm Beach fishing up there. You know, I did a lot of kite fishing early age, teenage years, in the early 20s, you know. And what was cool about it up there, you know, we always used to try and target, you know, a lot of the, you know, more prettier baits, whether it be goggle eyes or pilchards or sardines. And, you know, a lot of the times if you couldn't find the bait, blue runners were the next available option, you know. And the only other thing that I've ever really flown on the kite besides blue runners, besides pilchards and everything else, is mullet. You know, when the mullet used to do the run up there. So it's like, kind of grew up there to where, you know, the sailfish, when they bite, they're gonna eat anything and everything. You know, at least if you got a bait that's presented in front of their face, you know, it's gonna work great. You know, and it's kind of funny because a lot of the boys were like, I went out and they're like, man, 10 and 12 inch blue runners, like there's no way. And I was like, it'll work, you know, at least if they can eat the bait,
right,
you know, they're gonna eat it, you know. And it was really cool because, you know, I like putting blue runners on the kite because they're a hardy bait,
right,
you know, and they make a lot of commotion on the kite, man.
Right.
They really do.
Yeah, they're splashing around. They're good.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah, that's a good bait for sure. Like you said, you know, anything will come up and eat that bait, and it's fun, man, putting that kite out and fishing down here too, especially this time of year. So we have, you know, looks like kind of a little bit more, you know, a little bit more time to try to target the sailfish probably down here. I'm thinking maybe another month or so, maybe a little longer, but we're kind of getting into that springtime. So
yeah, I mean, it was kind of cool because I was kind of talking with a couple of the other boys, and, you know, asking about the sails, and Tucker actually the day prior beforehand did 1 for 3, you know, and kind of asked him the area he was in. He's like, hey, go out there, and, you know, I got the 2. Then it kind of set the ball up for the whole entire sailfish thing, because everyone's kind of been getting them every day, you know.
Yeah.
I know Tuck did 3 for 3 yesterday.
yeah,
Cam's been getting them, you know, so they're slowly starting to kind of move through and do their thing, you
Yeah.
know, which is really cool.
heck yeah, that's cool, man, for sure. And I'm sure that helps out, you know, from your past experience with fishing for them up there, you know, in West Palm, and then coming down here. I know you know Cam, and you know, been fishing with 2 Conchs a little while, so that's been fun, man. We've been having a good go at it so far, so it's been fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you guys, you know, if you have any questions, you know, we'll wrap it up on sail fishing or any other type of fishing, you know, just give us a shout. You can direct message us if you'd like. We'll be posting the podcast on Spotify and YouTube. So, you know, if you do want to go fishing with us, Captain Chad will take you out, or myself, and we'll get out there, man. So if you guys had fun, if you liked the podcast, like, subscribe, and share it, and we'll keep bringing some more content for you. Thanks, big dog.
All right.
All right.